Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show for the fans by a fan. Yeah, still haven't put it on the actual sound clip. I apologize to those of you listening that really need that can opening. I had to have a lot of Coke Zero tonight. Full disclosure, it is Monday night at 7:40, and I got up at 4:15 this morning after the Super Bowl last night, and the wife came home and she goes, "You look real tired." And I was like, "Don't tell me that. I gotta go do a podcast. Damn." But it is what it is, I guess. Here we are. I'm having a good time. I feel good and awake. I got plenty of Coke Zero here to roll me through this thing, so it'll be good. How you doing today, JP?
Oh, I'm doing good.
How was your weekend?
It was the weekend.
Did you party hard? Did you get COVID?
Yeah.
Did you get COVID?
I did not.
Oh, he dodged it.
Yeah,
Y'all
got
just weren't
lucky.
kissing enough. That's what that means.
Yes.
Anyways, well, I had coming out the rear end. You know what I'm talking about. So it's the Haribo sugar-free gummy bear review of 2012. That was my life on Friday night. So I mean, it was like every 30 minutes. It was awful. I sat up, and I don't know if you know this, but these Lucas races ended at like 8:30 every night, and that was terrible because I had nothing to do for the rest of the night other than watch Volusia. So, but anyways, I sat up all night Friday night. It's probably every 20, 30 minutes taking a run. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and check out the Amazon reviews for the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, and you'll completely understand. We're not going to give you any more than that. But when you feel something burn, your stomach starts to churn. Cha-cha-cha. But, oh, yeah, we are off the rails to start, and that's what I am talking about. I'm pumped up, man. I don't know about you. Super Bowl felt good because it meant that it was the last week of football, which I like football, and but I'm ready for Daytona and NASCAR and everything else that comes with it. So it's good to get her back on track. Man. So notables in the racing this week. Did you happen to see the Screven money trap / hostage situation for anybody that was there at all?
I saw the old 10 car doing 10 car things.
I don't know which one you're talking about, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm assuming, are you talking about the Hunt the Front?
Talking about Garrett Smith taking out half the freaking field down there.
Oh, God. Who was even watching the Supers there? They're irrelevant. If you had a Super and you didn't go to freaking Ocala, you're a loser, period.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I did look at that field. I will have to let you talk about that for sure. So who did he take out and what happened?
I don't even remember. I think like Trent Ivy and a whole bunch of other people.
Was this on Flow?
Yeah, there's a clip of it.
I'll have to find it. So I tried to watch down there, but what I caught was the fact they had 89 bang bangers, as we like to call them, for $21,000. And when I saw that it was $21,000, I was like, we could have gone to the junkyard for like $800, $900 and just got some fence and put a roll cage in it. It'd been fine. But, dude, some sketchy wrecks in the heat races. These guys just absolutely centered it down there. I've never been to Screven. I would like to go there. I don't even really know where it is in the state of Georgia. Is it south of Atlanta?
Maybe.
Hold on. Let me do a quick check on that. Sylvania, Georgia, it appears to be. I know, like, Riley Hickman went down there and raced a couple times, and I know that D-Watt's been there for sure. Oh, it is way down there. Okay, so it's like almost to Savannah. It's like halfway between Augusta and Savannah down there. So, anyways, it's definitely one of those tracks I'd like to go to. But I will say the new number 1 Florida track. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, so I kept flipping over there. Like I had the 3 screens on. I had Volusia and I had Ocala was the main one. That's the one I was listening to the audio and all that. And I had that open for a while, and they were running front-wheel drive heats for, I mean, probably 2 hours, flipping them left and right, rolling them over. There was one guy, you could see his head moving in the car. I mean, I hope everybody's all right. I think they were, but yeah. I thought it was pretty cool that they had that. I like that for like early season race, like Speed Weeks race, like run something different. I know they
Yeah.
had the supers there with them, and I'm sure that the super guys were all pissed off. And I was kind of like, hey, if you're a super guy and you're pissed off, you should have gone to Ocala because they only had like 40 cars most
Yeah.
nights. Super good racing, which we'll get to here in a minute. Other notable for me going on, they started up the asphalt shoot. I don't even know what they call it, World Series of short track or something like that. And at New Smyrna, Carson Brown ran late model on Friday night at New Smyrna, and then came over to Lucas on Saturday. And got back in the dirt late model. He ended up getting the win at New Smyrna. William Swalich actually won, but he was DQ'd because the front was too wide. Kind of an odd thing. I don't
Interesting.
really understand how that moves. I'm not an engineer. I'm a fan. So either way, nobody was arguing with the DQ that I saw. So it sounded like this is a pretty common thing. I don't know everything about the asphalt, but I thought it was interesting. And it's cool to see Carson, he did that thing with Mike Marler around us and did some testing around here and all that kind of thing. Did a lot of testing, I think, right off the rip at Smoky Mountain. Is that right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
Back in the Blue Horn days.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Blue Horn. I miss it so much. Gosh, I miss that. By the way, I'm just going to go ahead and spill it. For those of you that don't know, the man that actually created the Blue Horn shirts is right here on this podcast, Mr. JP. I know that there's a great Twitter/X account that kind of ripped it and, went with it. But, old JP there, I'm pretty sure he put it in iRacing. So
I did. And then a few weeks later, sure enough, there was a T-shirt.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt with the logo off iRacing, which we're not sore about. I bought the shirt. You bought the shirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we buy the shirt, so we are allowed to talk about it just for the record. We always buy the shirt. I was actually this is another funny side story. So why we get this thing started. So I was upstairs today, and I was like, I don't want to wear the same stuff like every week on the podcast, and I have so many shirts. Like it's a problem. I have 3 Mike Marler shirts, and I'm not even a Mike Marler fan, really. That's not my main, anyways. So. I had that one I got at Volusia last year that I wore like once, or maybe I bought that. I think I actually bought that at Eldora last year.
Yeah.
And then I have that one that's my favorite with the farm background. The dog chewed the side out of that one. I still wear it anyways. I love it, the black one. And man, I got like 3 Owen shirts. I got like 5 Davenport shirts. I got 3 Chase Elliott shirts. I got Larson. I have Ashton Winger, which. That's a pretty cool one-off, like Ashton Winger in the 89, too.
Oh.
So, like, not long at all. And I'm glad that I bought that, and I'm going to try to keep buying more of those, like, one-off type things as I can. But, yeah, so we'll see what I can go through. I got to get some hats, though, because the hats are kind of lacking. Half my Chase Elliott shit is bad because it's Hooters, and Hooters is apparently broke. Can't pay for NASCAR. So, I guess we can't do that. Go Twin Peaks. That's where I'd recommend to go. There's one right here in Knoxville. It's about 5 minutes from my house. For those of you who are curious, they're really nice there. They'll take care of you. So y'all be sure to have fun over there. Anyways, all right, getting on out of that, we are going to catch up on our first racing topic of the week, really getting into the breakdowns here. I know that you're a busy man, and I'm just a dad that sits around the house all the time playing blocks with my kids at night. So I actually got to watch pretty much every night of Ocala for the Lucas Oil late models. This was the Winter Nationals replacement for East Bay. Obviously, East Bay went away, which is heartbreaking. I loved East Bay. I loved watching it for the last, 5 years. I pretty much watched every night of it. The strawberry dashes, I'm talking about the strawberry shortcake, short track. You could always have some guy could kind of beat it around the top and just drive way harder than they should and make something happen. I also love seeing the pile of the gypsum off the back stretch, Mount Gypsum.
Yeah.
Gypsum? Is that how you say that? I don't know.
Something.
But And one thing about there that was really underrated was the wall. Like, you know how they painted that backstretch
Yeah.
wall every year, something different? I was looking through some pictures of that the other night just when I was like sitting on the couch watching it. I was like, man, I miss it, and I was worried. But here's what I got to say. I watched Tuesday through Saturday, with the exception of Friday. Friday, I watched as much as I could, but there was a tornado coming from my house, so I had to, like, I was sitting out here in the studio garage, which y'all don't judge if you're watching this video on YouTube. I'm sorry for this. This is my garage. See, the light just turned on. It'll go off in a minute. But it's kind of magical that I waved my hand and it turned on. But I was sitting out here watching it, and the kid was down. The wife was in there, like, watching Netflix or something. And she came in here, and she's like, hey, I got a text that apparently there's, like, tornadoes up here. And I was like, no. Like, I would see that. Like, everybody at my work, we all drive trucks. We talk about the weather pretty hard, you know, like if there's going to be anything coming up. And nobody had mentioned it. And, like, I was like, whatever. So I opened the dadgum YouTube TV to the WBIR Knoxville NBC station, and they're like, all right, we have confirmed rotation in Clinton, like North Knox County. Yeah, that'll be at your house in 7 minutes. And I was like, well,
about to get
that's interesting. So I was like, if it was just me and the wife, I would have told her, like, well, they said it's coming. I'm going to sit here. You do what you want to do. But, like, you know, we have a 2-year-old. So I actually got a little worried about it because they named off a school that's literally right across the street from my neighborhood and said there'll be a tornado there in 7 minutes. And I was like, well, I guess we're going to get in the pantry because that's the most interior room of the house. So we all piled in there, and I watched that and missed the feature from like 5 laps in till the end. I went back and watched the highlights and stuff. But I watched it all the way through that to get to the real point, and like, dude, the track is actually really awesome. Like, I kind of feel like me and you talked about this last year. Obviously, I wasn't doing the podcast or anything, but like, why don't we shape more tracks weird? You know?
Yeah.
Like dirt, asphalt, weird shaped tracks. Martinsville, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Darlington is the other one I was really thinking of. I said that. Pocono, Iowa, like, weird shapes are good. You know, it creates something different. You're not as good in both ends of the racetrack. And I really enjoyed the shit out of it. I mean, it was awesome kind of watching it. And, you know, I was really worried about East Bay because East Bay could get racy and have some good runs, and guys could really just kind of beat it on the cushion and make passes. And they had that at Ocala, which was awesome as far as I'm concerned. What's the deal? So, Bubba Raceway Park is what it used to be called, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the guy that owns it is named Bubba something.
Yeah, Bubba Clem, which is like Tyler Clem's dad or cousin or something. They're all related. Tyler Clem, I think he runs mostly sprint cars now. Is that right?
Possibly. I know
something
he
like that.
ran that 58 car for a little bit.
Yeah, the Big Frog 58. That has been passed around by all of our regional drivers in the Southeast for like the last 5 years. There's been probably 10 different drivers in that car. But yeah, man, the track was awesome and the racing was really good. And, you know, they didn't count points on Tuesday, Wednesday, and they started counting them on Thursday. Thought it was interesting. Not that many guys really sat out Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, at East Bay, most guys like a Davenport, Owens, Moran even, these guys that are really racing for a championship essentially usually sit out a night, whether it's to do maintenance or just to keep laps off the motor or whatever. And nobody really sat out. I think there was one night that Moran ended up pulling off because they were having some kind of motor issues and just didn't start the feature, and they let somebody else in. Yeah, there was. It was Bronson got in. We'll get to that in a minute. But, you know, overall, I thought it was really racy. So anyway, starting off Tuesday and Wednesday when it wasn't points nights, they had those mod lights. Which does they race those at? Is it? I think Mountain View races those.
They race them at Mountain View every once in a while.
At I-75, and like they race a little bit around here. And they used to race them at North Georgia, which was scary.
Yeah,
fast. Big track for them at North Georgia. And I remember thinking that. But anyways, dude, them things are sketch, dog. They got tall tires for as short as those things are, and they roll because I mean I think it's because the tires are big. I guess it's a modified tire, but like for the size of this thing, it's like a golf cart with I'm guessing it's a motorcycle engine.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a 600 or 1,000, but
I think there's different rules,
yeah, I
but
don't
I
know.
think it's around both of them.
I don't know anything about them other than the fact that they're fast, they're racy, and they flip a lot. But they're pretty cool, and I liked it, and I liked having the one class, and the shows were, I mean, even with just running them, they were pretty good. They ran heats, which is a little weird, and I think it's a IMCA class now. So I didn't know that about the mod lights. But yeah, so that was cool. That first night they had a bad flip, like heat one, lap one, just I mean, absolutely turned it over, and I was like, oh my goodness, somebody is gonna get hurt. And they had probably like, they damn near needed a chili bowl flip counter for the mod lights. I don't know if you saw the one like going into turn one and like the leader and second got together, and some people were saying it was intentional. I didn't feel like it was intentional. I don't think he ever really got straight coming down the front stretch and just kind of hooked him. That's more what I saw. I don't. If I feel like if he would have done it intentionally, we would know about it because somebody would have got absolutely beat.
Yeah.
Their brains out in the pits, because you know how that goes. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. Got through that. Night one, you went through the heats there. Overton gets a win. That first night there, Carson Ferguson got the heat win, and I was like, all right, Carson, we're going to do something. And then he kind of absolutely pissed it away.
Yeah.
To start the feature. So, anyways, they go through there, get to the feature that night. My notes basically say Overton led 25 laps. Then he kind of slipped it up. He went high on the restart, got cleared by Moran, and Devin goes on to win a pretty good race there. Before that last restart, it was like, Davenport, O'Neill, and Overton were all kind of up there. And then Moran ends up getting the win. So that was 2 in a row for him, coming off the win at where'd they go last? I'm an idiot. Alltech. Yes, that was 2 in a row for him on Tuesday night. He was pretty pumped up, ready to go. Then we go to Wednesday night. Wednesday night was the highlight. I think you and the GF need to go back and watch it and see if you can take some notes.
Oh,
Riley, this is for you. Anyways, so they got it going. We did qualifying. RTJ had a brand new race car. I guess he did. I don't think he raced today. Like Longhorn brought him a car, got there Tuesday. They put it together. I think we even talked about on the show that he junked that last one at that last night at Alltech. Yeah. They brought him a freshie, and he wasted no time getting that thing. Quick came on up there, set fast time. Davenport was in Group A fast time. He won his heat. Then it was the heat winners there were Davenport, Overton, RTJ, and Brian Shirley. Shirley, man. Whew. He was up there and just had something happen every day, dude.
Yeah.
Like, somebody said there should be a 30 for 30 on Brian Shirley's speed
he's
weeks.
Had such
he has had a
crazy
rough,
speed weeks.
Rough time, and there really haven't been much good to it, unfortunately. So they did that. But anyway, so after all those heats and the B-mains and stuff, they pull out these 2 people on a golf cart, and Bubba Clem, we talked about the owner, comes out and it's like, all right, we're going to do a wedding right here on the front stretch. Did a wedding in less than 5 minutes. I'd like to see the world record for the fastest wedding ever performed. First of all, I was super impressed with that. We've seen proposals on the hood of Jimmy Owens' car.
We've seen a wedding.
I know. We're getting that. So both these 2 occurrences I remember was at 411, correct?
Yep.
So just some history. 411, somebody rented the nose of Jimmy Owens' car, and I'm pretty sure that was a Lucas night at 411.
Yeah.
Okay. And like rented the "Will You Marry Me" on in the hood of his car for the proposal. That was one night we saw that, and then also like somehow Brandon Overton
and Davenport
were in a wedding. They were in the wedding, right?
Yeah,
like on the front stretch at 411 before the race. This was nothing like that. These 2, dude, did you see this at all? Probably not.
I saw a little bit of it.
Okay, so congratulations. I hope you guys have a long, happy marriage. But anyways, they get off the golf cart. They're wearing jeans and checker flag hoodies that somebody bought from the daggum knockoff vendors across the street on Talladega Boulevard. Like, I mean, like literally there's like Carhartt, like triple oversized, just checkered flag hoodies with pockets and strings. And I was like, oh my goodness, is this real? And he gets up there, and he does a little wedding, and in the middle of the wedding, he makes a joke about, I hope all the ups and downs stay between the sheets. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was just kind of sitting here like stunned.
Oh, man.
Hold on, it gets better. So it ends, they get on the golf cart, they're pulling off, and James Essex, I think it was Essex, it could have been Jarrett, but I'm pretty sure it was Essex, said, well, I think they're legal as long as they pass the droop check.
That's one way to put it.
And like, this is so messed up that I'm saying this, but I swear I heard somebody in the back of that press box go, there's no way. There's no way they're passing the droop check. And I was like, that is so messed up. But hey, I think it's awesome that people can just go down there and own it, get married at Speed Weeks at Ocala Speedway. I love how he was like, I am not a reverend, cannot be a reverend. But invested in me by the power of, I guess he's like a, what's that, notary or something like that? So he could do it in Florida. But so that was cool. It was an awesome way to start the night. They get done. Hold on, there's more about this at the end. Anyway, so we go through the race. JD ends up winning the race. Yeah, that was the night that Moran. Oh, okay. So this is a quick note on the race. So Moran gets in through the, let me see where he qualified in through the heat. But he had motor issues, went to a motor change. So they let Bronson in to take his starting spot as an alternate, right?
Yeah.
And Bronson started like, he started 23rd or something like that. So he gets in. He drove up in the top 10, like from 23rd. And this is a short feature. These are like 30-lap features or whatever, non-points, So that was really cool for Bronson, just kind of, he's always been one of them guys. Like, he's almost like Scott Bloomquist when they put me to the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the first time I really remember watching like a true Bronson fan was at me and D Watt were at what's that one in Kentucky, Florence.
Yeah.
And the dude sitting next to us just like this diehard Bronson fan, and he's like, "Yeah, we're starting in the back." They came to the B main, and he did. He put it on the high side and just let her eat. He don't care. That's one thing I like about Kyle Bronson. He don't care. He has a big neck. Don't get in a fight with him. It will hurt. So that was cool that he did that. Other than that, man, there's some of those rough things. Like they had that wall, like where the track is different and it's tighter in turns 3 and 4. That turn 4 wall coming on the front stretch absolutely was jumping out and grabbing them that night. It got like Shepard, Dan Ebert, who put on a pretty good deal there for him trying to do the rookie thing this year. I really want to read more into him before our next show. They were talking about he's like a snowmobile guy or something.
Oh, wow.
Like coming over here, like he's done snowmobiles and maybe raced some drag cars or something. And I don't quote me on the drag cars. Yes, the snowmobiles. I'm not sure on the drag cars, but I'm gonna look up that guy. Seems pretty cool. I like his merch. Okay, I scanned the QR code that Flo keeps putting up there. I'm probably gonna buy some, so don't tell anybody. Harrington 15K also got that front row thing. The last 3 laps, that one, Davenport was gone. That baby was absolutely hooked up and rolling. On Wednesday night, but Troutman and RTJ were like,
they were going at it, dude.
Yeah, they were throwing some haymakers, and I really thought that they were going to get irritated, and they didn't seem mad after. Yeah. I was kind of surprised in interviews. Like I specifically stayed to watch their interviews. But what I was going to say is, so they had Davenport draw the 50-50. I think it was. Well, he drew the 50-50, I guess, maybe after the feature. Or maybe after the heat. Anyways, after the race, they asked him. They were like, he said something about congratulations those that got married, before the race or something like that. And it was like, yeah, you gonna donate that $7,000 to the honeymoon fund? And it was just, that's what Shelton asked him, and he was like, well, I don't get all 7,000 of it. And he was like, were you gonna donate your share? And he was like, no, but congratulations, have a good one.
Yeah,
Real man, I like that. He could have at least got him some Busch Light bottles. I know he likes some Busch Light bottles. He probably could have gave him a couple. I mean, I'm just probably a couple. He could have afforded that, but I thought that was hilarious that he put him on the spot and asked him. He's like, "No, I'm not giving nothing, actually." After he just told him congratulations. Come on, JD, we can at least give him a beer. Just tell him to meet you at the hauler. They probably just want your autograph anyway. So that was cool. Anyways, going to Thursday night, RTJ rips him in qualifying again. And that new car just kind of got that thing set on kill. He's been good all year. No shock there. He was in that second group for qualifying. Davenport again was quick in A. He smoked him. Basically, it was, they never really saw him at all that whole night. He pretty well had the good deal there. Kind of the notables, Hudson had to go to backup car in the heat. He had dropped a valve, so he went to the back. Your B mains, the B mains, Turbo was in a B main, I swear, every night, man. Him and Hughes, Whitener, they were all right around that kind of thing. So, I felt, Turbo's just he really needs to get together. They keep calling him Uncle T now, which that's fine, but I hope he can get it figured out a little bit. I'm kind of disappointed to see him back there having to do the B mains every night. But yeah, so that was Thursday night. Davenport went ahead and smoked him again. You went Davenport, Overton, Bronson, Moran, and Brandon Shepard. Rounding out the top 5 there, I guess. So, but here's the highlight of Thursday night. I flipped over after this race because this was the first night they didn't have those mod minis.
Yeah.
So it was shorter. It was over probably 9 o'clock. And so I flipped over to Dirt Vision. And about the time I got over there, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson, son. I mean, they left the entire Road Outlaw sprint car field. Just left them standing still. And I don't think either of them lifted at all. They had a restart with 3 to go, and I don't think either of them lifted. And Larson was running the top, Bell was running the bottom. And Bell won by 5.005 seconds. So is that hundredths, thousandths?
Thousandths, yeah.
Whatever it was. Larson was on the top coming through the corner, slices down to the bottom under Bell, pulls up next to his door, and almost got him on that 2-lap restart. And I swear, I don't really know what the actual splits were, but I bet you it was over a second in 2 laps, how far gone both of them were.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dear Ty Gibbs, thank you so much for blessing us with the freedom to have Christopher Bell back in something else. Also, I know we're going to talk about NASCAR later in the show, but you better pay attention to Christopher Bell getting back to racing every day of the week.
For sure.
I really think he's one of those guys that's really going to help doing that. So that was awesome to watch that. Bell's car is ugly. I just want to get that out there. Bell's sprint car, it's 69K. It is the worst wrapped sprint car I've probably ever seen. So we need to do something about that. Sorry, Christopher, but we need to do something about that. The fire suit's TRD and Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. But I thought it was awesome he's out there. Quick note, I saw right before we started this podcast, he might be running an ASA car tomorrow. Tuesday night at New Smyrna. We'll see what happens. I guess they're kind of wanting to see how media day goes or something at Daytona for NASCAR. But he's maybe going to run, which would be cool. I saw something so that'd be his first non-NASCAR asphalt race since 17 or 18. Which
wow.
He's not really young anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of forget about that, and it's kind of sad that we haven't got to watch him and Larson go at it all year, and I mean, I'm pumped to watch it. I really would like to see them both in a late model. Brumley, tell Larson, maybe get Larson and Bell. Can we get a rocket? Maybe we can get Bell in a rocket and then Larson in a Longhorn somehow. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something that we can figure this out. I'd love to see it. In fact, I'd probably watch them race tricycles, actually, because they don't like to lose, and they really don't like to lose to each other. So I'm really curious to see how all that plays over throughout the year on the NASCAR track. Friday, so we go under that. That was the night I had the tornado warning, for those of you that forgot. Somehow I missed the fast time here. like a Moron in my notes. Fast qualifier, Ricky Thornton Jr. for the third night in a row. That's what I thought. I just want to double check. And he pretty well pulled out and smoked him. Dude, and that B main, Smith. Which Smith was it? Oh, Brennan Smith.
Yeah.
Brennan Smith is running like second or winning, and Whitener is running the other one of those two. And Brennan Smith goes out with a flat tire, and then Whitener like blows up under caution in the B main and I'm like 3 laps to go. Like both of them are in transfers, and they both end up going out, which was wild. So we end up getting somebody Stewart I never heard of, Harris, and then Dennis Earp Jr. They all ended up getting in. But I mean that was like Whitener was leading that thing and blew up under caution. Man, that is tough. He also has some rough luck from time to time. Is he still running the BMFs?
I don't think he is anymore. I think his brother or whatever still runs him in crates.
Okay. He did. I was gonna say it was a crate cars what they had bought. Yeah. So I don't think they ran it super. That was cool. B-Main number 2, Turbo again, Harrington again. Boom Briggs did qualify through that day, so that worked out for him. Other than that, I don't have any notes for the feature because it turns out I was in the closet dodging a tornado. There wasn't actually a tornado by my house. Thankfully, there was a lot of hail, but it really stayed about like a half mile north and then kind of went all over Knoxville. So prayers to all those that you were affected. There's areas, Sunbright, Tennessee, who there are actually some local racers up there. It's close to like Wartburg, Morgan County. So all you guys up there, I hope y'all are all made it and doing okay. And thoughts and prayers go out to you guys with that. But other than that, it looked like RTJ pretty well just smoked him again. Your top 3 was Thornton, O'Neill, Moran. And then Bobby Pierce had showed up Friday night to run. You know, he wasn't there all week, but he showed up to run Friday and Saturday before Volusia. So he was there in 4th, and then Davenport rounded out top 5. RTJ, O'Neill, Moran were top 4 like all week, and if you mix Overton's name in there, that was pretty much top 5 basically every night.
Yeah.
So pretty much where they left off at Eldora, man, as far as Lucas points go. Other than that, we get to Saturday. Alberson, your boy. Remember when we had that head-to-head and you picked him? Well, he was doing terrible up until Saturday. I just want to point that out. Awful.
Yeah.
Sets fast time, and I was like, oh, maybe Garrett's. Maybe he's finally got it together. Guess what? He didn't. Spoiler alert. It happens.
Yeah.
I just don't really think that track fit him all that well. You know, he hit kind of the rough heat there because he had Thornton with him. Thornton had absolutely was smoked him the night before. Thornton jumped him on the start of the heat, passed him, and he never got back past him. But so your heat winners were Thornton, Shepherd. Again, Shepherd ain't been nowhere. Wins the heat, thankfully. Davenport, and then Troutman. Which, let me tell you, we're gonna we might have to start like a Twitter campaign. Do you know where I'm going with this? Are you looking at this heat for the top 4 transfers there? You know where I'm going with this?
A little bit.
Okay, they have got to do something to identify their cars. Because this Troutman and Hilsebeck, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They are the same car.
Yeah.
Stop it. Like, it's a good thing I'm sober. Because if I was drunk, I would not know which was which. Like, I think, did Hilsebeck buy GR's old stuff from when he got kicked out after getting thrown in jail?
Something like that.
Because you remember all his stuff was for sale, and I think that's when he got it. And I thought GR was done racing, but apparently not. So, whatever. Anyways, please, somebody change something on your car, change the color, something. Because I can barely tell the difference in you two idiots out there. So, I like Troutman. I was glad he finally got a win, and I felt like he had a little rough luck. You know, he just come down here and run modifieds and stuff.
Yeah.
So we've kind of always liked him, but worked out. Get to the feature, and we start blowing tires on lap 17. Shepherd blows the left rear, lap 25. It was either Hilsebeck or Troutman. One of the two of them blows a tire. Lap 27, Ebert blows a tire. And then Moran was starting to run the top around then. He started right here. Oh, that's the wrong day. Moran started fourth, and right there around that halfway, I really noticed him starting to hit the top in that race, and I was like, oh, God, he's going to come on around here. And he did. Lap 29, Turbo blows the tire. Lap 30, T-Mac blows up, and then Moran ends up going on and winning it, and it really wasn't that close. Davenport for second, Thornton, and our boy Brandon Overton, followed by Garrett Albertson, who finally got him a top 5. So that worked out for him. Finally get a top 5. I'm sure he needed that to finish off his week. I don't know if he's going to be running at Volusia or not. I'm kind of guessing not for most of these Lucas guys, but we'll see what happens there. I got one comment for Devin Moran. Devin, I hope you see this on the internet. We're definitely going to clip this part, okay? You see this right here? F them Buckeyes, bro. Hey, listen, Ohio State, nuh-uh. You put that away, I don't want to see that the rest of the year. I don't want to see it. I'm really curious because, he's had that red fire suit.
Yeah.
Is that because he's an Ohio State fan?
Probably. I mean, he is from Ohio.
Bruh. Nuh-uh. I mean, I went to the game. I'm telling you, I am not an Ohio State fan. The loser university, that's what they are. I know they won a national championship. Congratulations. Glad they won because they beat us, but good Lord. I mean, they're not as bad as Eagles fans. We'll get to that in a minute. But they're not as bad as Eagles fans. But that was actually, to be completely honest with you, 100%, dude. I actually saw the fire suit, and I was like, man, that's actually pretty cool. I liked that it had, like, his name and the number on the back. And I was like, it looked kind of – I really thought it was like motocross. Like, motocross does the number and the name. And I was like, man, we should do that. It's actually kind of cool. Like, if they're out walking around the pits or whatever, and people see them, know who they are, walking down the front stretch, I kind of thought it was cool. But then I saw the helmet, and then he said it was Ohio State Buckeyes uniform, and I was like, oh, you loser. I was like, Roger, you own Smoky Mountain Speedway.
Yeah.
We can't be having none of that Ohio State crap. But, no, I'm just giving him a hard time. I'm good with it. But I thought it was really cool, and then he said it was Ohio State, and it broke my heart. Like, I'd already put it in the notes, like, Moran has an awesome fire suit. And then I was like, no, it's not awesome. No, Devin, don't do it to me, Daddy.
Yeah.
But he got the win. So
maybe we just need to get old Chase King to get the matching fire suit. He's already got the Tennessee helmet.
Chase King.
Yeah.
He's probably running topless this year.
Probably.
Dear Chase
As
King,
always,
we're petitioning you. Let's get a full Tennessee fire suit, please. Thank you, Lord. And then put Caution Flag Contemplations podcast on the arm right here. All right. Anyways, don't hit me up for the bill, though, because I heard them custom fire suits aren't that cheap. So Moran, man, he smoked some last night at Alltech, last night at Ocala, got the other win. So I think he's got 3 or 4 wins now.
Something like that.
On the year. I know that the first one at Ocala didn't count points and all that, but we'll look at points going into the next Lucas race. Like I said, we're going to wait till we get out of Speedway and we're done with that. So. But right now, I think Moran and Davenport's your top 2. I think RTJ is 3rd. Then kind of O'Neill and Overton are probably like tied 4th and 5th is kind of the way I see it if you put them in 3 tiers. How you feel about that? You think that's right? You think that's wrong?
I would say that's probably pretty close. I mean, the way the year started, for sure, Devin's going to be a contender, at least what it's looked like so far through Speed Weeks. I mean, it's like he's been fast everywhere. He's going to have a lot of momentum going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see, if it continues trending that way. And obviously they have that, that championship 4, and it's like, I feel like those 5 are pretty much the 5. It's like, who's the 4 and who's the one left out? Moran's finished 2nd, 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row?
Something like that, yeah.
Super consistent, gets wins, so we'll see. Other hot topic, will Davenport catch the one and only Scott Bloomquist in the Lucas wins this year? Davenport is at 85, leaving Ocala. Bloomquist has 94 Lucas wins in his career. When I put this question in here, it really looked like he was going to win another one, and he finished 2nd there at RTJ. So, I don't know. That's 9 more. He's already got 2. You think he can do 9 more this year? That give him 11 on the year. You think he can do that?
I hope so. I mean, I think he can. He's just, he's been running good so far. Yeah. Really, this week it seems like he kind of stepped up and definitely got 2 wins, and he was okay everywhere else, but he definitely seemed to pick up some momentum this week.
Yeah, he really blamed himself there on Saturday, I think, for the tire choice. They were the only team that went with the 2, I think, the soft tire. And there was him and one other car, but he said it was his tire choice. And, I'm kind of curious to see what happens to him. I feel like the crew's definitely hitting on all cylinders this year. Last year there were some times early they weren't necessarily, he did the crew chief change there too.
Yeah.
Last year, and maybe they're finally kind of getting everything worked out for him on that. I'm gonna say probably not. Next year for sure, I would think. But I think 11 in a year is hard. They don't race as many races they used to race either, And then also like with Devin and RTJ and Overton, like them guys are good, and O'Neal. And then you got to think about everybody else that might show up, from Bobby Pierce to whoever. And I think it'd be really hard to get 11 more against the field. It's not that they can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to be competitive pretty much, most nights out. I'm sure they'll hit a slump somewhere, but I think it's a lot to get 11 total wins in a year. So my guess is not, but again, I'm like you, I'm a fan as well. So I hope he does, and I'd like to see it, but kind of curious to see how that goes. All right. Well, we are doing pretty good on time so far. Just kind of cap off last week, we're going to talk about our pick'ems. Our pick'ems. Head-to-head pick'ems. So we did this head-to-head pick'ems. This week, it was kind of opening week, and it's a little funky having 5 races and all that. The first one we did was a non-racing pick for this game they call the Super Bowl. Somebody picked the Chiefs because they believe in
it's rigged, but
losing.
It actually isn't, I guess.
I mean, I've said it the whole time. I said if it was rigged, the Eagles had to win, because if it wasn't, like, they were going to be hunting people. So,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's not rigged, but I did pick the Eagles. The Eagles did win. You picked the Chiefs. So that was 1 for me, 0 for you. Second pick was Overton versus Albertson. Overton got a second on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Albertson's best finish was 5th on Saturday, so I did get the nod over you on that one. So I was I went 2 for 2, then it went downhill from there. But after that, me and you, the next matchup was Tyler Bruning versus Jimmy Owens. We both went with Owens, and Bruning ended up sneaking an 8th. Owens got a 10th on Tuesday. Bruning didn't show up till Thursday. I was like, I know that he's not really sure what he's running yet.
Yeah.
I don't think. He was using Mike Marlar's points from last year. Because it's owner points or whatever.
Yeah.
So he took a couple of emergency provisionals and points provisionals or whatever, and we'll see what happens there. Obviously, after we get through Volusia, we'll see. I'm assuming that him and Marlar are both going to be at Volusia. I know that it's kind of up in the air what Marlar's doing. I don't think he's really officially said what he's doing. I'm guessing that there's a chance he's going to be running World Outlaws, and we'll know by the end of the week if that's the case. If not, he's probably going to run like Hunt the Front or something like that. So we'll see what happens there. But we both went 0 on that one by both picking Jimmy Owens. The next head-to-head was Tim McCready versus Brandon Shepard. This we had to go to the third round because they both finished 4th and 9th, and then B-Shep finished 16th on Tuesday. Ended up getting him the edge over T-Mac, who was 17th on Friday. So JP picked B-Shep, I picked T-Mac. They ran pretty much right around each other. And but anyways, JP did get the point there. So we finished up the week 2-1. Casper wins, and we're doing the week wins. If you notice, I got this nice grid down here for this week for us. Isn't that nice how I did that? Because this up here above that was complicated as hell. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with that. And it should be easier this week given the, races that we're running. So, other than that, we'll get to those in a minute. I want to wait for a second. Was there anybody that you thought, like, just one thing that we kind of skipped on to talk about last week, is there anybody that you're still like a Tyler Brunig, like, where are they at? Because for me, I was still like, Owens struggled. I'm sorry. I hate it, but he was struggling.
Yeah.
He looked fast a couple times, then like he would get kicked out of the groove and just get his doors blown off. Brunig was not great. T-Mac and Shepard were like, they got a ninth and a fourth, but they got a ninth and a fourth. Like they weren't up there really looking that great. Alberson struggled, but I really think that was more for the track. I guess like my question is, do you think that those guys have a chance? That group of guys we just went through, do you think any of them have a chance to get it together and maybe get in that Final Four for Lucas, or is it time for them to start looking for something else to do the rest of the year?
I don't really know that anybody's gonna beat out, your Moran and Davenport and Overton and O'Neill. I think those four, they've got the speed. They're also really consistent for most of the year. And when you get to that group of guys, I mean, there's not a car that's easy to beat up there, and it's just so tight competition-wise, and I don't think you can really budge out of them four.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious to see if we see somebody jump series here. I know that if you didn't pay your Ward Outlaws money, you're really not eligible for Outlaws points. I don't know if any of them did. I feel like Brunig paid Outlaws. I don't really think like Alberson did or anything like that, so I don't think they have the option. I'm not sure about Owens. I'm assuming Owens is running Lucas again, like we talked about with Davenport, like just because of show-up money. But I'm not sold on that, so we'll see what happens there. Obviously, they're going into Volusia. Today's Monday. I think they're actually racing there tonight. I guess we could turn it on. It's a non-points dirt car show. I hadn't had time to get to that because I've just been crazy all day. But they're running non-points at Volusia through Wednesday, and then after that they'll be World Outlaws doing that. So other than that, as we get into next week, let's start with this. What are we doing for the iRacing this week? What we got going on?
Oh man, so Saturday night, some of the guys are on my team. We're putting on a money race.
Baby, big money, big money.
It's gonna be the Midwest Sim Sports 500. It'll be a full 200 laps at Daytona in the Next Gen Cup cars. There will be two 15-lap duels to set the grid. It'll be a $5 entry. If we get the full 40 cars, it's going to be like $350 purse pay in the top three.
Holy cow. So y'all are running a full 200 laps?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh. So is this, I mean, I'm just curious because I've never run a race that long. I mean, I've obviously I don't iRace as much as you, so I'm just curious. Like, is anybody going to finish?
Yeah.
Like, half the field or like less?
There's going to be two quick repairs. So
Okay. That was my next question because I'm like thinking like Daytona, 200 laps, so you get two quick repairs. Okay, well, that's good to know for sure. For somebody that might be interested. Well, if anybody's interested, sign up. I will post something on the X, and I'll try to get something linked to the YouTube video. If you watch that, click on over there, find it. You said we're going through Discord?
Yeah. If you just you can either find the Midwest Sim Sports Facebook, and we'll be able to get you from there.
Okay, sounds good. So I will point them to there or you, and we will get it done. Are you going to give us like a recap? You going to get us a highlight video for our show next week?
Yeah.
You going to get us like some driver interviews of the winner?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, if you record it, we'll put it in here. And I would say to ask some questions, but I'll ask them something absolutely nonsensical that'll ruin their life. But we might put them in here. I don't know if they want to. So we'll see what happens. What car is your number going to be?
We're going to be the number 55 Caution Flag Contemplations podcast.
Oh, baby. Is it going to be yellow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby. Yeah, we need some pictures for sure.
Oh, yeah. We'll get it out there. It's not quite done yet, but we'll get it out there.
Yeah, you better hurry up. We ain't got no time for your bull. Get it together, son. Well, that'd be cool. I would run it. I will be out of town, unfortunately. I do hope to run some more. I did run the Chili Bowl thing with you guys and got absolutely smoked. I'm kind of disappointed I'm missing the Daytona thing because I know that I could ride around in the back of that and probably finish in the top 20 as long as you finish. Like really, if you don't try to race at Daytona, you're honestly better off. So, I was actually sad that it was gonna be this weekend. I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm curious to see how it goes, and hopefully, like I said, we can get some video or something in here,
Oh
just
yeah.
whatever they want to do. That'll be awesome. Y'all gonna anything else you got coming up? I like that y'all do everything, a little dirt, a little
No, but we're
asphalt.
definitely starting to, do some more of these events with our team, and
That's
we're
cool. That's cool.
planning on doing some more of these. So be on the lookout in the future. I'm
Okay.
sure there'll be
Well,
more to come.
y'all can do Atlanta. Maybe I can do Atlanta. I've never run the new Atlanta on iRacing, just for the record.
Really?
I hadn't done it. Are you going? I'm putting you on the spot right now. Are you going or are you skipping?
I don't know.
Well, it's up to you.
Possibly.
It's paid for. The question is, are you going or are you skipping? That's the question.
I mean, I'll have to
What
see. We'll have
you
to
got? You
we'll have
got
to
about
discuss
10
that.
days to
Yeah.
decide. So, I hope you're going. Some of the other people that's going to listen is going to be like, wait, he might not be going. So I just told him you're going anyways. So, you better hurry up and
Yeah.
make that decision.
Yeah.
I think you should go. Quit being a dud. It'll be fine. If for those of you that don't know, I'm going to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Second NASCAR race. I've never seen. I mean, I was talking about it today. I'm actually pumped for that race because I hadn't seen this mile and a half drafting, and I'm kind of
It's
sketched out.
wild.
And I'm kind of curious to see too. The track's had some 2 years to weather now, so we'll see maybe if they're not drafting as hard, but we'll see how it goes. Other than that, finish up this week. Let's get y'all the schedule rundown. Like I said, Volusia for World Outlaws is Thursday through Saturday. They're running Monday through Wednesday is dirt car. It's like 5,000, 7,000 to win, something like that. And on points, NASCAR fires up all three series. Arca also going to be in action. We're going to talk about that in just a second. That might be my most excited race of the weekend. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody I'm turning into one of them guys. But we got the duels Thursday night at 7. So I'll be up all night watching that. That's going to be great. I'm going to have Volusia, NASCAR. Volusia, NASCAR. All right. Trucks Friday at 7:30. Arca race is Saturday at noon. Xfinity is Saturday at 5. Cup race is Sunday at 2:30. If you want to watch them go fast around the Daytona International Speedway, it is one of a kind racing there. I'm excited to watch it. I hope I can watch the 500. I'm also going to be watching a 26.1 mile race on Saturday. So I'll be, 26.2. 26.2 mile race. I'll be watching that, pulling for the hottest redhead out there. So hopefully they get that done, and we'll see what happens. But I will, I'll watch what I can watch for sure, and I'll definitely catch up. And we'll get to talk about it next week. I'm excited. So your assignment is going to be to watch on Saturday, though.
Oh yeah.
I know you're pretending
I'll
to
be
be
at work,
busy.
but
You're going to be
I'll
working
be
hard.
watching.
You're going to be at work. You're going to be working hard. I know. But yeah, so I need to know kind of what's going on when I can't watch. So you're going to have to help me out a little bit there. We're going to start doing assignments for viewing, by the way. We're going to talk about that when this is over. I'm taking it to the principal's office. Other than that, big news on the Arca race, okay? For those of you if you don't know who Cleetus McFarland is, you probably didn't find this video on YouTube, so probably don't need to worry about that. For those of you that are like my dad or my granddad and have no idea, Cleetus McFarland is this crazy dude that got rich off of the internet, essentially making dumb videos, and bought a racetrack, and then bought some helicopters and a plane and some race cars, and just does whatever he wants to do, lives life. I mean, he is living the dream life for anybody. Super. I love watching this stuff, man. And he seems like a super cool dude. Obviously, I've never met him or anything. He seems super cool. We're at North Carolina, flew around with Greg Biffle, which led to this awesome thing where all of a sudden he was like, yeah, Greg, I want to race at Daytona one day. And Greg Biffle's like, all right, boy, let's do it. And all of a sudden, Cleetus McFarland has signed up to run the Arca race, the Arca 200 on Fox, 12 o'clock noon. That is probably going to be the most ever. I was talking to somebody at work there. That's going to be the most watched Arca race ever.
Yeah.
Probably just because Cleetus McFarland is in it. His name is Garrett Mitchell, and apparently NASCAR, you have to use your actual name to sign in. So y'all be watching. He's going to be in I think it's a 30 car? 30
Something
car.
like that.
With the Kinetic energy drinks
yep.
sponsor, which super awesome, man. Like I watched the video. I don't watch all of Cleetus's long full length videos on YouTube, but I was watching this one about the testing. Car must be fast. They were 4th in single car speed, 4th in the draft, so they must have a decent car. So hopefully he'll get in, and hopefully he'll run the 200 laps. I think, or 200 miles. I guess that's the biggest deal for him. Probably, he said his dream is essentially to run the Daytona 500. So got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Greg Biffle was like, I mean, we can get you an Arca car, man. Like, well, no problem. So, apparently, if you got a YouTube channel, you can do that. So, anybody watching, if somebody wants to give us $5 million, then we're going to sign JP up next year. So, anybody that's got the donations, just get them rolling in. I'm sure we can help you figure out how to write that off on your taxes. Anyways, that's all I got. Sweetheart at I-75. This used to be in Raceville. Is at our beloved 411 Motor Speedway. #RIP. I mean, I like I-75, but it's not 411.
It's not 411 now.
I mean, it was falling apart and all that, but it's heartbreaking. But so that's going to be what's that? That's that Winter Nationals crate thing. Running that there, it's like 3,000 a winter I-75. If you're in the East Tennessee area, I recommend you make your way out there. I actually think the weather is supposed to be nice on Saturday. Last I looked, that changes by the minute, but last I looked, I think it's supposed to be fairly nice, like 60, sunny. Get on out there to I-75, spend some money, do the tier parking, get a pit pass, take a walk through. It's a great time. It's a beautiful racetrack. Plenty of room to walk around, hang out, and have a good time. So y'all go there. Just a heads up, for our other East Tennessee listeners, you can head to Clarksville the weekend after for the Toilet Bowl Classic at Clarksville Speedway. Another race that I think has been on me and JP's bucket list just because they get a toilet bowl if they win, which I think is awesome.
It's
and
awesome.
If I won that race, I would install it at my house, probably in the main guest bathroom. My wife would lose it. And I think some of these guys that win that kind of do that. So I think it's really cool. And I think they do it for all the classes that they race. They run a bunch of classes. So another track in Tennessee needs some support. If you can go. I will be in Atlanta. JP's going to be in Atlanta. He just hadn't admitted it yet. So we're not going to be able to make it to that. But yeah, man, East Tennessee, put that on your list, man. It gets overlooked sometimes because of the time it is in the year. But, load up and go, okay? Load up and go. All right, into the picks. I want to hear it. We have the head-to-heads. They're a lot better. We're going to change this from laps to miles. 200 laps will be 500 miles last time I checked. Anyways, so I'm gonna try to do this. We did the first week, it was 4, and I told you we were gonna try to do like an odd number. We're gonna try to do 5. I think 5 is a good number to do this. So our head-to-head here, all that's gonna matter is who gets a better finish on the weekend. When we start getting to Lucas and World Outlaws running more than one track in a weekend, we might pick the track or whatever. We'll see. I might let you start picking some of these because I could kind of cherry pick some of these matchups for maybe something I like, So I might let you start picking some of them. But number 1 is going to be World Outlaws Pierce versus Gustin at Volusia. Who's going to get the better finish on the week?
I hate to say it, but I mean, that 32 is probably going to get at least one win this week.
He struggled in Sunshine Nationals, dog.
I don't know, man.
Struggled.
I still think he's just going to come through and do his Bobby Pierce thing.
All right. Well, Gustin struggled at Ocala. He was there, and he was slow, unfortunately. Yeah. But different track for sure. So we'll see. I'm going to go with Gustin. I'm going to go with Gustin because I like to pick the underdog, and I hate Bobby Pierce. Just kidding, Bobby. You're my favorite. This one's kind of a little bit different. We can do this because it's head-to-head. Cleetus to finish 200 miles or not? So you taking the 200-mile race or you taking Cleeter? Which you going for?
I think Cleeter's going to do it. I got faith in him. I've seen him rip they had him run like some kind of late model when they raced him at the Freedom Factory, and I think he's actually a decent driver.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is, you got to watch out for the Arca brakes and craziness that ensues with Daytona and Arca series racing. But yeah, I think I got faith in him.
So I'm really torn on what I think is going to happen with that. And I'm also torn on what I want. So 2 things I want to point out about this. if you watch his video, he talks about the fact that he always runs a helmet cam, everything he ever does. Well, NASCAR won't let him use that footage because it's at a NASCAR race. I know Arca's Arca, but it's a part of NASCAR at this point. So, for those of you that don't know, I was talking to somebody else today that should have known that didn't know, and so
How did
it,
he not know?
it wasn't him, it was somebody else. But anyways, so we were talking about that, but like I kind of want him to wreck because I want to hear about it from like a dude. Like Cleetus is such a normal person.
Yeah,
Like we were
that's
talking about
true.
like he's wrecked some crap, man. Like he's wrecked those what's the damn thing? The police car's called.
The Crown
Crown
Vics.
Vics. He's wrecked those. He's wrecked some stuff, and like I kind of he was talking about like being strapped in the seat and all that, and like how much different it was, and it's like in some regards I kind of want to hear that, and I kind of want to see his helmet cam because I think if he wrecks, we're gonna get it. It kind of just like to hear him, but also like I really want to see him succeed at what he's doing. So I hope he gets it done. I'm gonna give him the yes too. I think he'll finish it. I think Greg Biffle is probably going to be super underrated. I'm curious to see if Biffle spots him. If nothing else, he might. He's driver coaching him. I mean, he was down there for their practice doing that,
Yeah,
and I think that's going to go a long way with the Arca. And like, he seems like the thing about Cleetus is like he clearly has money. I mean, the houses, the Raptor R, the racetrack, the drag strip, the airplane, the helicopter. Like he got it right,
yeah.
but he seems super down to earth. Like he does. I feel like he doesn't forget where he's coming from, and like even being there. Like he just seems like a dude with a mullet that showed up to drive and like he seemed pretty humble about it. And I like that. So I hope he gets it done. I'd like to see what he does and wish him success because like I said, he's living everybody's dream at this point. I mean, I'm not really a kid. I'm 30, but when he started doing his stuff, we were kind of close to the same age. And any kid these days got to look up to this guy, right? So
Yeah.
hope that works out for him. Moving on. Trucks. Daniel Hemric, who's driving the McNally number 19 Napa truck. I think it's Napa. I don't really know if it's Napa. It's that truck. Over Frisen this year. It's interesting. Hemric back to the truck. He went on the complete backslide here for Daniel, man. All the way from Cup to truck. I think he's running it full time this year. I think he should be competitive, but who you got?
I got Hemric. I know I've met Stuart Friesen at Smoky Mountain. He's a cool guy. I talked to him a little bit back when he ran the late model there, but I think Hemric's gonna be okay. He's been terrible in the Cup Series and the Xfinity. Hasn't been that great, but I think maybe he'll be okay in the trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing trucks at Daytona is just gonna be who finishes, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, they're both probably gonna wreck. So we'll see. I'm going to go for Eason. I'll just give it to him just because I think Hemric's probably going to wreck. I think Hemric is probably been going pretty hard for a win. And I think, I will say this, I think Hemric's going to have a good year in the truck series. We'll probably go into more like legitimate. Same thing. Let's get a couple weeks in, see what everybody's running so we can get used to it, and then we'll make some picks. I know that's kind of different than standard, but I think with racing it's kind of better because like there's so much stuff changed. It's hard to keep up with all of it. So, and we're just fans. Like I don't have time to sit here and go through the media book that the other guys do, and that's why we're doing a podcast in the garage and not on Fox. So, but we're here to be real. So I'm gonna go with Friesen in 52 Hallmark Racing entry. We'll see if he can get it done. Xfinity, you have Allgier versus Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones is running. He's back in
the Gibbs car, I believe.
No, he's back in the JRM machine this year.
I thought he was still in the.
No, he ran 1 year with them. That's why I picked him. Let me double check and make sure I'm right. I checked the entry list today, just for the record, for anybody that was questioning me. I did check the United Rentals 300. Where's the daggum entry list? I saw it earlier. Here it is. Brandon Jones.
He's in the 20.
He is in the 20. You're right. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm an idiot. You're right. So, did he run? Was it last year he ran the? Okay, I had that backwards. Okay, that's right. I had that backwards. You're right. I'm an idiot. So he's back in that 20 car, which I'm assuming that should be the good car for them.
Probably.
54 has Taylor Grace. I don't know which one of those is Ty Gibbs' ride. I guess 54 is, but we'll see what happens there. So who are you going, Allgaier or Brandon Jones?
I'm taking the B. Jones, partly because my iRacing teammate, his name is Brandon Jones. It's not the same guy, but
okay.
we call him B. Jones, so I got to go with him.
That's cute. There's no way Brandon Jones is finishing a race in Xfinity ever, mostly, but definitely not at Daytona. So give me Allgaier. And Allgaier's run the Cup race on Sunday. We need positive momentum for the Traveler Whiskey, number 40. If he wins that, I'm drinking Traveler Whiskey after the race. Never had it, but I will have some, and they will sell some, and hopefully they'll sponsor him for some more races. I guess got to be Tennessee Whiskey, right?
Something like that, probably.
I mean, it's Chris Stapleton, so it's got to be. Got to be. All right, last pick here. Cup race. Kyle Busch versus Kyle Larson. Who you taking for a better finish in the Daytona 500?
You can go ahead and write the check for the winner to the number 8 machine of KFB, son. It's a lock. Yeah. Put it in the sports book.
So
Put your bet in.
Give
it all your money. You're going to win it. So, it's a guarantee.
Larson is the favorite, just for the record. I did see that today, that Larson was the favorite. I did not see where Kyle Busch was at. Said I was going to pick Kyle Busch. Now everybody's picking Kyle Busch, which makes me nervous. But
that's a lot.
I want to see Kyle Busch win a Daytona 500. He deserves it. I'm really afraid that Kyle has gone over the peak of his career. He's starting to turn into to spin out Kyle. So I hate that, and I want to see him win it. So I'm also going to go with the 8 over Larson. Larson also kind of isn't that good at plate racing.
Not good at, yeah.
The scary thing about that is, I did see something last year, I feel like, where he said his goal over the offseason was to get better at plate racing. That's probably not good for the rest of the field when Kyle Larson's trying to get better at something. Also, I think any drafting thing he do will help him with his Indy 500 bid. So I'm going to say he's put a lot of time into drafting on the sim. So we'll see what happens there. We're going to come out of this, and hopefully I'm going to win another week, and you're going to lose another week, and we'll go from there. Other than that, any other bold predictions you want to make for this weekend at Daytona?
I'll take the Ricky Spinhouse car to junk half the field.
You're going to go him over Brad K?
Yeah. They'll probably both. See, Brad K won't take out half the field. Brad K will just drive through somebody.
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's Byron.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, I'm just excited we're back at it. I'm excited to come back and talk about it, and I hope that some crazy stuff happens and I can have some off-the-wall opinions, and maybe we can get a view or two. Other than that, thank y'all so much if you're still made it this far for watching on YouTube. Appreciate it. It was really kind of a last-minute thing to even put this deal on YouTube, and we got, to me, I consider it to be a good amount of views in the first week, and especially kind of as rough as it's been. Give me a little bit of time. We'll get all the graphics, make it look prettier, work on that. But thanks for watching. Share it with somebody if you don't care. Give us a like, subscribe, click, all that good stuff. I'm not going to beg for that at the beginning of these things because nobody cares. But other than that, I don't have nothing. If you need anything, get a hold of me at scasper007 on X, or you can get a hold of the show at _caution flag on X. We also have a Facebook page at Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast. If you have anything you want to send the show, put it there. There's some requests about voice messages. I just kind of want to give you guys a view behind the curtain. The program that I used to use to record the podcast when we did the voice messages got bought by Spotify, which is another place you can listen to our podcast. And you can comment on the podcast there. We also run polls. I try to run a poll every week when I post it on Spotify if you would like to listen to it there. They got rid of that call-in feature, so we don't have that available to use. So I have to come up with something else. So if you have something you want me to play on the show right now, what I would suggest is to either email us at crazycaspermedia@gmail.com, like an audio file of your call-in. You can do a voice recording and email that, or you could message the show on Facebook, or, anything like that. That's kind of the easiest way to go. Basically, you're going to have to record an audio file and send it to us. We don't really have a call in like a cell phone. There is an option for me to bring you on the show and we record it if I want to. We're going to have a lot more people watching to do that. So if you want to do that, share, force some people to watch, turn on 5 phones at your house. I don't really care. But thank y'all for watching. JP, you got anything on the way out?
Nothing. Just excited for Daytona this weekend. I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I got to get off here and go watch Volusia. Other than that, y'all hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.